There's a new AI tech demo game. Oh, let's go. Oh, I love that. Ah, see now. See now why you got to do that to me. Let's look at this real quick, okay? I love the stupid silliness that comes out of these things.
What do you know about the crime scene?
What are you doing here?
Is it dangerous here?
It's hard to say. We're still piecing together the evidence. From what we can tell, there was some sort of explosion in a robot lab.
Origins is inspired by a story world loosely based on the anime Metropolis from 2001. In the story, humans and robots coexist, although under a rather shaky social system.
Origins is a technical gameplay demo that takes place in the city of Metropolis. The story opens with an explosion, and you've arrived on the scene as a lead detective.
This is a delicate situation. Let the professionals handle it. We wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, now would we?
Wow.
Dude. AI video games at least have to do a little bit better with the AI voice lines, man. I know every part of this is just like robotic, but goddamn, I feel like it's so robotic. I mean, this definitely is better than the previous version of this that we watched. Didn't you break the AI immediately last time? I know, but it's like fun content. There you go. It's not a game that I would ever like play by myself, but it's like perfect for streaming.
Why would you say that?
Listen carefully, detective. This is no place for a rookie cop. If you know what's good for you, then turn back now before someone gets hurt.
Janice and all the characters in Origins are powered by Inworld AI, or maybe I should say their minds are. It's the first time an ensemble cast of AI characters has been orchestrated in this way.
Greetings, Detective. I am Special Agent Janice. You have been authorized by the Metropolis Bureau of Investigations to conduct interviews with possible witnesses.
My name is Maya. I'm an advanced artificial life form created by a brilliant scientist. He wanted to create something that could think and feel, and he succeeded.
We haven't been able to get inside the lab.
You know what's really funny about this? It's like supposed to be robots versus humans, but the humans are also voiced by AI, just like the robots are, which ironically makes it really complicated almost, because like they all sound like robots. Like none of these humans are passing the fucking test from Blade Runner, okay? What was it? Was it Voight Kampf? No, what was it? Was it just simply the Turing test?
Yet, but from what we can tell, there are robots and unknown life forms that were destroyed in the blast.
Each of these characters are powered by over 20 machine learning models. The Inworld engine processes inputs, and just like the human brain, responds in real time to players with a variety of behaviors.
Creating an AI character starts with the character motivation and backstory. Dialing in their traits and personality tells our AI model who your character is.
Yeah, it was Voight Kampf.
Most characters you meet in video games possess knowledge or items that advance the game. In the case of Origins, all characters have a shared knowledge of Metropolis.
This is how Disney thinks they'll make movies now. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Obviously this technology is bad right now. And the better it gets, the more it can be utilized. But once again, the technology should not displace the actual artists and other people that work on the production side of video games. Everything is just bad now. It sucks. Like, I find myself becoming more and more a Luddite as days pass, which is ironic because Luddites were kind of on the left, and they certainly were anti-tech from a leftist consideration. The issue, of course, is that we don't see AI as a tool, but simply a replacement for labor, which is bad. AAA games are bad, not indie. It's not even just video games. I was thinking about movies and stuff too. Like streamers. The streaming platforms, I feel like, have been a demonstrable failure. But it ultimately doesn't matter, right? Like, we're just kind of still playing this song and dance, making it seem like, it's worked, making it seem like it works, when it clearly doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm of the mindset, at least now, where we had 100 years of success in Hollywood with the old Hollywood structure, and then we brought in VCs, and we brought in a tremendous amount of investments, and we brought in the financialization of that sector, just like every other sector. And now it's just like, it's not necessarily about putting out any kind of art. And you can make the argument that it never was, but it's just, it feels like everything that you watch and everything that you experience, everything that you consume is just done with the most amount of cost cutting you possibly could engage in. You know? For every good thing that you watch from Netflix that you actually enjoy, that changes your mind, or that you feel an emotional investment towards, or Netflix or Paramount Plus or Disney or whatever, there is a metric ton of garbage that you do not watch that is possibly getting like YouTube video numbers. Okay? There is so much slop out there. And it's all organized by an algorithm that's like saying, well, these are the taste clusters that this will target. Let's dump like $1,000 into this project. Let's dump a couple $100,000 into this project. Like, it's okay. It's fine if we don't have 18 different streaming platforms. You know what I mean? I'm fine with the old way of consuming content. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. I'm not saying like bring back Blockbuster or something, but I do feel like there was a tremendous benefit to having the movies get released in movie theaters and then have a DVD out for your own personal consumption. Nowadays, like any kind of digital copy that you have of any kind of IP is always under threat. They could go away. Even if it's inside of your hard drive, unless you pirated it. A video game, for example, that you own a digital copy of can go away. That's crazy. Like, you bought it. The only thing that doesn't go away are physical copies. The only things that don't change are physical copies. Cost cutting has been gamified to the point CEOs are trying to get down to the lowest possible percentage without breaking. It's like Polybridge. Yeah. DVDs could go away as well. What do you mean? DVDs are at least a physical copy. Welcome to leftist media analysis from the last 30 years. What do you mean? This is something that I have talked about as well. No, physical copies change too. How many DVDs do you own? How many can you can play nowadays? Wait, what do you mean? Physical, I'm talking about having something, having a product digitally versus physically. What are you talking about? If you have a DVD player, you can literally play DVDs still. Like, yes, over time, if you don't protect it, it won't be there forever. But even if you have a DVD, or even if you have a physical copy of something, you can at least like upload it onto a hard drive and have it exist in, like, you can, we're talking about like data protection and data degradation, which is a separate concept. Physical media can also degrade over time, and it absolutely has. That's why you have to make backups of it, but you still physically own Like you still have it. Even if you make it digital, you still own a copy of it. What I'm simply talking about is the difference between that's why I said pirating is actually a good way to store this information, and I am in support of it fully. But what I was talking about is like piracy versus like having access to a digital copy through the regular means that you currently have. There's different brackets for it, right? You can either buy a movie off of Amazon, for example, not a digital, not a DVD, but like a digital copy of it, and that can actually go away. Amazon can take that away, right? Versus you buy a DVD of a movie, a physical copy of a movie, and you upload it to your hard drive. You technically can manipulate it, you can keep it, you can store it, you can have it in perpetuity, as long as you have proper data upkeep, right? And then there's the completely other side of this equation where most of the stuff that you don't buy that is in a cloud somewhere that you're just simply consuming, that you're renting, or rather you give money to a streaming service with the hopes and assumption, understandable assumption, that like the show that HBO made is not going to be shelved, right? And then they just decide, well, this is a good tax write-off for us, and we're shelving it. You can no longer have access to it. And you're like, well, what the fuck? Like that blows my mind. That is like absolutely insane. That I mean, this happened as well. Yeah, Nintendo Wii U and 3DS eShops shut down. So like all of the games that you had purchased, you know, you'll still be able to re-download the games you already bought and play online for the time being. But, you know, there's a shelf life on it. I think it's fine to have a bunch of movies on a digital platform with a subscription model. It's not like they don't sell Blu-ray DVDs every year. Still, if you want to buy it. No, I know. I don't have an issue with having a bunch of movies on a digital platform with a subscription model. The only issue is that they can do whatever the fuck they want with the digital.
You got me addicted. I'm hanging on your lips. I don't wanna quit us. We trip too good on this. I got you under my skin. Shifting tides until I let you in. You are messing with my head, and I keep dancing on the
copies. They can take it away from you, or they can shut it down. They can take it away for a cost-cutting measure. A lot of that stuff is kind of odd. It's more of a leasing structure than an actual ownership structure that you have over any kind of IP that you want to go back to and watch. This is genuinely an issue. Imagine having an entire library of video games that you purchased and it's just gone. You own a license to it, nothing more? Yeah, I don't like that. This might be a bad take, but how often do you see yourself going back to watch/play something after you were done with it? It's still really bad that there's a half-life, though. You're not wrong about that statement, but that is an issue because we're talking about archiving things versus consuming it personally. And I feel like there's a genuine benefit to archiving everything. My box set of Reno 911 is priceless. Good luck using the Comedy Central TV app. It was coded by someone with no eyes, no hands, no mouth, no ears. Oh, God. Don't get me started on the user interface on all of these streamer platforms. I feel like they have figured out. They're doing the X/Twitter thing where it's like the user interface is unusable deliberately, so you spend more time on the fucking app just to find your goddamn movie that you want to watch. Oh my God. God forbid if you want to go back and watch the episode because it accidentally played and you skipped an episode or something on accident because you clicked something wrong. Good luck. It's going to take you 35 minutes to find the exact episode again. Crunchyroll is also a horrible offender of this. Yes. Every single one. It's a race to the goddamn bottom, dude. It's so hard. Why is it so fucking hard? Netflix is probably the only platform that has like an understandable, coherent user interface. And even Netflix sometimes fails on that standard. And it's gotten worse on Netflix too because they want to manipulate what you see, because I feel like that's a really good way to draw a lot of attention to their new IP, for example, that they think people will watch, right? So even Netflix is like difficult to navigate nowadays. Another argument is that if something is actually released on DVD, sometimes it's not a good scan, and the only physical copy is a bad example of, and not the highest quality the product can be. Funimation currently releases Dragon Ball content with a green tint. That is an error that they refuse to change. That's insane. Did you hear the latest story about that Twitter conservative weirdo Hananya? No, I haven't. Playing devil's advocate, not all devs and creatives in other industries have the resources to mass produce and distribute physical copies of their work. We would not be able to have and enjoy this much content from small creators if it weren't for digital-only avenues. I agree. So I do think that Steam should follow Netflix's no sharing policy, make it people can only register one PC using their motherboard serial code. Oh my Lord. I think movies media has realized giving you a one-time experience to see any movie is a good trade-off, short-term on rewatchability. What is this? Show chat how annoying. Oh, Hasan and old Hasan ran about Joy-Cons on Nintendo. Yeah, I'm always, dude, don't even get me started on this. Okay, this is really, really frustrating. Okay, we're not going to watch this again. Modern console discs don't actually store the game on them. There's just a license to download and play the game so they can be shut off. It's impossible to find 28 days later for streaming on any platform, at least in Canada. Yeah, there's like... So a lot of this IP stuff, which kind of dovetails into IP once again, a lot of this is basically a digital enclosure, right? That's the entire concept behind like intellectual property online. It's a digital enclosure in many respects. And the reason why, like maybe back in the day, it was an understandable or maybe back in the day, it was like a necessity, right? Because you have to make an argument to have some kind of ownership over the product that you're creating. Otherwise, how else are you going to sell it? Otherwise, how else are you going to make more, right? I get that. However, now, no matter what happens, you are utilized, like big tech CEOs and streaming platform CEOs and movie producers basically have utilized IP and limiting your access to digital products that are only available digitally as a mechanism for more revenue extraction. Like there is a unspoken, reasonable, like almost social contract where you're like, well, I bought this. This is me. I bought it. I own it, right? I want to be able to watch it again. And now they're like, yeah, actually, you can't watch it again. And maybe we can make more money later down the line by giving it to you on a different streaming platform that purchased the rights again for it. So now you can go and watch it on Netflix, like Suits, if you like Suits or whatever. Unless you have the DVD box set, like you can only access it on Netflix, right? They most likely got their value from the games. Bad take. What are you talking about? Why can't Netflix do similar how like Spotify does it? What do you mean? Are they refusing to make physical copies? I mean, I think physical copies are very difficult to come by. They're not exactly accessible. When's the last time you were able to quickly purchase a physical copy? It just depends. I mean, some things are made with obviously physical copies, but it's more so become not the regular method of consumption, but a collector's item at this point. No one wants to watch Suits. Bad example. Actually, it's a really good example because no matter what you personally think about the show, according to Netflix, if we are to listen to what they have to say about how popular it is, it has been an incredible success for them to purchase the licensing for Suits, and they've been blasting it all over at least my main page. So the only way you can get physical copies of streaming shows is by getting mailer ads while living in LA. Yeah, if like some Hollywood Foreign Press Association person lived in your home before you, then they send you physical mailers. They haven't updated their address. That's one way you can do it. Speaking of Netflix, there's a new Baki. I know, I've been watching it. It's been pretty good. All right, let's finish this out.
But each character also has knowledge that is specific to what they've witnessed in the crime scene.
Inworld's knowledge systems ensure that each character only holds one piece of the puzzle. Solving the crime requires players to piece together the full story.
Conversational AI is driving what the characters say, but it's what they're thinking, how they're feeling, and that nonverbal, expressive communication that is really important.
For example, our suspect, Victor, is sitting when the player approaches. But if you make Victor angry, he stands up and gets in your face.
You need to be smart, detective. You don't want to cause a scene down here in the lower levels of Metropolis. As for me, it's none of your business what kind of worker or person that I am. All you need to know is that it's not safe for you here, and if you keep snooping around, someone might get hurt.
Dude, AI voices are so bad. Like, again, that's a human, not a robot. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, dog. I mean, listen. This is in its infancy stage, right? It's really bad right now for that reason. It will get significantly better, but...
Using motion capture, we created a library of animations that maps to various emotions.
Okay, is this guy AI? What the fuck?
We also used Unreal Engine MetaHuman Face Rig to create subtle expressions, so when Victor is angry, it's reflected on his face, body language, and gestures.
The Inworld system allows emotional responses to drive character animations. Our character Neuro is always angry, but if the player says the right things, he'll become happy.
Thank you for recognizing the importance of this issue.
I'm happy that we can both agree on this.
It is important that we keep an open dialogue and share our thoughts on this topic.
Interactive stories, engaging dialogues, and immersion can be a feature of every experience using Inworld. Work that used to take weeks and months can be condensed into minutes and hours for teams of all sizes.
Our Unreal Engine SDK makes it easier to integrate Inworld into your own games and experiences.
Origins.
I mean, it's just a chatbot with graphics. Yes, that is where AI games are at this moment. It can potentially get better.
This is a case.
But as it stands currently, it's literally just a chatbot with graphics. Yes, you are correct. I don't think they figured out a decent way of not having it be a chatbot with graphics so far, because the entire thing is like a tech demo. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see. I'll download this and potentially play it. I mean, it's free. It's not like a thing. You know what I mean? I'll install it. Throw Fallout 3 gameplay on top and people will lose their shit. Well, the problem is everything in Fallout is scripted. My computer has gotten very,